Marla, would you please introduce our speakers for this evening?
Tonight's program is Shelly Klinger talking about Middletown. And you might think you know about Middletown, but Shelly's going to prove you wrong. Middletown used to be and don't take offense at this, Shelly. It used to be a more important town in the county and in the area. There was so much going on there, and it has faded and stopped and gone away. And so we don't think about Middletown as having the history that it does. So Shelly's here tonight to tell you all about that background.
I'm more of a fireside chat than a formal speaker. So if you have any comments or anything to say or a question or something, yell it out at me. Otherwise, I have problems with words sometimes. I'm starting to get dementia. So just yell it out and we'll talk about whatever it is, because I don't want anyone to forget either. Well, my name is Shelly. I used to be Shelly Elligood, and I'm Shelly Klinger now. I lived in Middletown from the time I was born until I turned 18, moved to New Holland, and all over Illinois after that. And after 40 years, my mom said, I want to die at home. She had dementia. Dad was already gone from Lewy bodies. So my son was living in the house at the time. So we moved back to Middletown. I was gone for 40 years, and Middletown sucked me right back in like I wasn't gone at all. It was great. And people are still acting like I was never gone. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that are new there, some younger folks, but a lot of us olders that are still there hanging around. It's great. I live on Grove Street, if any of you are familiar with Middletown. I'm the one with the 500,000 plants in the yard and a hurricane fence around it and an obnoxious green car in the driveway that's broken. So if you're in town, I'm retired, stop on by, give you a tour, I'll show you all my stuff. My mom, God bless her, was a hoarder. When she passed, she had 5 storage facilities, and we're not talking those little storage facilities, we're talking the big ones. 5 storage facilities full, I'm down to 1.5 now. She had a double wide trailer in Decatur full, a 16 by 32 shed in the backyard, 2.5 car garage, and her bedroom. I'm going through things piece by piece because some things are magazine offers from the 1980s, and she kept every one of those. You can get magazines for $3 a year. But I also found that she had stock in Caterpillar from Canada. So I have to go through everything piece by piece. Some of these things up here are what I found. And these newspapers are going to stay for whoever wants them. There's newspapers. Can you imagine the Courier being so big? From the Bicentennial, presidential newspapers. This little girl went without TV for a year, and a couple of you have said you know her. And Kevin Seitzer's in this paper. That must be why she kept that, because Kevin Seitzer was a year below me in school. Yeah. And I used to babysit his sister. Okay, gone for 40 years. Mom wanted to die at home, and she did. And I'm still going through stuff. A lot has changed, but a lot hasn't changed in Middletown. We've lost a lot of our businesses. We've gotten a few more. We had 3 churches and 3 bars at one time, and Mom and Dad would always say they go out to the bars on Saturday night, and Sunday morning they're out of the church. Well, my church is the Presbyterian Church in Middletown. Let me find that card. It is the oldest Presbyterian church in the state, in the county, sorry. It started in 1835. It's a brick building across from the park. So if you know Middletown, you've seen my church before. They've changed it a bit on the outside. The bell tower's no longer there, but that's a safety thing. We still cook in the basement. On the second Friday of each month, we cook meals for the elderly people in town and in Lincoln, a couple of our members. The First Presbyterian Church in Springfield remodeled their church, and they were selling the pews. So my church bought their pews. That was the church Abraham Lincoln went to.
Yep.
So every time I sit in my pew on Sunday, I'm thinking, I wonder if he sat here. And sometimes I'll move down just a little bit and think, yeah, maybe this was it. But you know, we all have our assigned spots, right?
Exactly.
In the beginning, when I was young, the church was full. There's 13 pews in there. And now we have 9 to 11 people because Middletown has lost so much in the population. But sometimes I just like to shake it up a little bit and move around and think about Abe while I'm doing it. And they all look at me like I'm kind of strange.
I had an experience in Philadelphia like that.
Yeah?
We were in the oldest church, still being used in the United States, but it has been built over, but the original part was there. And the front, the first 2 pews on each side have two pews facing each other. And there's a bucket there. And that was for their heat. They had to bring their hot coals to heat. And the tour guide said the ones that I was sitting in and my husband was George Washington.
Oh.
You said to bring something up. I know it's different, but it's an experience.
It is. It just makes you feel important or special or something. Your bottom is where their bottom was at. Very but true, I hope. And the Presbyterian Church had a building right next to it. And that building was moved to behind the church because someone was murdered in that building. And the guy got away with it, basically. They moved that building behind the church, and that was used as the preacher's house. And the funny thing is that someone sued the homeowner, and Abraham Lincoln was the one that represented the man that was suing the other man. How cool is that, too? You'd think that we'd have the paperwork on that somewhere, but we don't. I used to be a librarian at the church in Middletown, and it burned down 3 years ago on July 28th. It was tragic. I stood in the park and bawled my eyes out. And everyone said, oh, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. It had the wooden shingle roof to replicate what it was before. It was a general store. And a gentleman was burning a giant mound of tree stumps and branches and leaves, and he had pulled diesel fuel on it. And poof, up it went. The people over at the bar saw it go up. And it was windy, and those sparks went right over on our roof, and our library burned. The top part was pretty much taken out, and that was the uniforms of people from all of the wars from Middletown. Our baseball team from Middletown, which was very successful one year. We had a no-run year. I don't remember what year that was. Darn it. The community came together right after that, though. We had fundraisers. And that whole community from Middletown, young and old, and people that had fights with everybody else, they all came together and pitched in money. And we made thousands and thousands of dollars, even though we had insurance, thousands and thousands of dollars to help repair the building. It was great. In 1860 was the first murder in Middletown. John Renna shot and killed James Rockford. You know, the Rockford Files? Yeah, so that when I read that, I thought, oh, that theme song's going through my head now. And that's the building that got moved around to the side. Supposedly, they were both drunk. I don't know. It was 1860. Have you all heard of Music's Ferry on Salt Creek? Not too far from Middletown. It was in 1834 that was built. Abraham Lincoln was a surveyor for that area. And yeah, I know I talk about Abraham Lincoln a lot, but I kind of have hero worship for him. The granddaughter down the line of Mr. Music was just in Middletown last week because she wanted information about him. She came all the way from Wisconsin to find out information about him. Middletown, population 300 and something now. People come from Peoria to see the Dunlap Inn, which used to be Stagecoach Inn. Oh, let me get to that card. Stagecoach Inn used to be in Middletown. Then they moved it out of town, disassembled it, numbered the pieces, moved it out of town, out in the country about 1.5 miles away. And then when my son, who is now 46, was small, they moved it back into town. Piece by piece, put it all back together, numbered wise, perfectly. Abraham Lincoln stayed there on his route between Peoria and Springfield when he traveled the circuit. Unfortunately, the books that would have had his signatures burned. But we do have confirmation that his wife and children stayed there in July of 1847 and October of 1848. So I'd like to know where those books are at that has that confirmation, because that would be really cool. Again, that hero worship thing. When they moved the building back into town, everything was still in the building. So there was a huge auction, and my parents went to it, and my mom, the hoarder, paid $1 for a piano. The piano from Abraham Lincoln's days, with the ivory keys. And it wasn't fancy. It was plain, but the wood was beautiful. It was a tiger wood. Yeah, that's it. Beautiful piano, but not a fancy piano. And it was the tall back on it. And we got it home, and Mom opened it up because it sounded kind of funny, more thunk-thunk instead of tinkle-tinkle. Inside of there was a cornet, silver cornet, an accordion, and a, what was it? Oh, a $1 bill. Out of all of those things, she didn't keep the dollar, she spent it. So actually she paid $1 and got all of this great stuff, and she got the $1 back. Unfortunately, when I was living in New Holland, that would have been in 1988, I moved out. I donated it back to Stagecoach, but it's not there. I don't know what happened to it. I'm brokenhearted that they have an Eastlake piano inside there now. And Eastlake just didn't fit Stagecoach in. Beautiful furniture, it's my favorite furniture style, but it didn't fit the Abraham Lincoln thing. Yeah, I'd love to know where it's at. Okay, so the library was Knapp, Chestnut, and Becker. It's the oldest brick building in Logan County, and it is full of information that will knock your socks off. The bottom drawer, before it burned, the bottom drawer on the left-hand side of the filing cabinets that were inside of the vault, because it was a bank also, 2 drawers full of certificates of birth and death. And I think that's fascinating. Most of the deaths were from childbirth, flu. I think I saw 2 that said cancer. Compared to now, that's really out there. One man was drugged behind a horse, and that's how he died. A lot of unknown causes. If you have someone from the area, and once they open the library back up again, and it may take a while for them to get it open, I'm no longer with the library. Ask if you can go through there. The names are fascinating. The history behind it is fascinating. Yes, sir.
Were those same names in the Logan County files?
I don't know. I've never looked through the Logan County files. But it'd be fascinating. These were all in like little coupon booklets. They didn't even have big fancy books. It was just like someone, okay, there we go, dead. Oh, but then here we have someone being born too.
So,
What year?
do you have any idea what the dates?
Oh, they started in 1840 something, like 1848 I think was the oldest that I found.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because courthouses didn't keep records like that way back then.
No.
And-
Churches and other things. did.
Yeah,
And
this,
plus the courthouse burned in 1857, so they didn't have any,
oh, so Middletown has it.
uh-huh,
Unless it got ruined by the fire.
yeah.
Could it possibly have been a doctor's record?
Yeah, they were the doctor's notes.
Okay,
Mhm.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And it was not very detailed. No, born on this day, died on this date. It was just died on this date. Yeah. Hoping they can get it up and running soon. So Middletown was founded in 1832. You realize that means 6 years from now it's our bicentennial. The bicentennial of Middletown. It seems like we just had the bicentennial of the United States. It's amazing to think that that little town is so old. And it used to be a big town. When I was 15 and 16, I'm 66, almost 66 now, that little sign going into town said population 650. Never forget that. And now we have 316 today, down from 329 in 2020. In 1910, though, was a big upswing to 751. Why? People think that we were going to be possibly an up-and-coming town. I know they supposedly talked about Middletown being the capital of Illinois, but I don't have any true record of that. That's more of a speculation thing. No one wrote down, let's make Middletown the capital. It was just talk. And unfortunately, we didn't get it anyway. That's okay.
How did the name derive?
Scuttlebutt is because it's in the middle of the state, and I know we're not in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not in the middle.
I think it's because it's halfway between Springfield and Peoria.
Yeah,
Could be.
yeah,
And
'Cause
that's
it's
why
called
Lincoln
Peoria
took the
Road.
route.
right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I take that road a lot, although it's closed right now. Don't try to go up that road. It's torn up. There's cows along there I like to watch. Here, see, I've got that mind blank again. I'm scared to death I have dementia like Mom and Dad.
So what was Peoria Road?
It was the road from Peoria to Springfield, the main road back then.
Yeah, it's a back road now. If you go,
That's how Abraham,
Springfield Road.
So had that been on a stagecoach route?
yes,
Yes.
yep.
And Greg Lawn has done a lot of history on that, and he's trying to get signs up for the Peoria Road.
He just published a book, and they have
Yes.
that for sale in the library in Middletown. $25, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks like a really nice book.
Mhm.
We have it here. so I
Oh, you
donated
do?
it.
Good.
I don't know what happened to it, but I did donate one here.
Nice. He's a smart man.
Yes. He's a year older than me. He's ahead of me at school over there.
Middletown's tiny. We're 9 blocks long and 6 blocks wide, and someone just said they got lost there. Who was that? It's 0.24 square miles. We are upgrading. The park is going to get new playground equipment. We are getting a new water facility, a water treatment plant just outside of town. Someone has been using it to dump their kitty litter out there, so hopefully we can get that to stop. Yeah. Our water bill's going up, but it's gonna be okay.
You have a question?
Stagecoach, the Dunlap House is now inside of town. You can visit it, but you have to make an appointment to go there. The same way with the library right now since it's closed. But I do have books. Memories of Middletown. Originally they were like $25. They're $5 now. They survived the fire. Not all of them. There were probably 200 left, and we have maybe 25 or 30 left. So these are $5 a piece marked down if you'd like them. It talks about the town and the history of the town. It's really interesting. And I can always get more too. I don't use a computer anymore or a printer, and I don't watch TV anymore, so I have my little index cards. I'm trying to get back to a simpler time. Oh, Daniel Webster, Senator Daniel Webster. Y'all probably know this, but it's an interesting fact. He was traveling, and the wagon wheel broke. And luckily, he was right there by the school. So he just climbed off, went to the side of the school, a 2-room schoolhouse, and talked to all the kids there. Then he walked up to the Knapp store and talked to everyone in there. He just made himself at home and visited with everyone. And it was the highlight of those kids' life that Senator Daniel Webster was there. My granddaughter is 14. Well, she's going to be 14 in a month. And I was telling her about this yesterday. She said, "Who's Daniel Webster?" But she did know Abraham Lincoln. And her mom and her fiance, my daughter and her fiance were standing there, and he said, "Did you know I'm related to Abraham Lincoln?" I thought, what, really? You know? So he called his grandma, where's that at? He called his grandma while I was standing there and put her on speakerphone. She's 80 years old. It was kind of hard to understand her sometimes, but it's on Mary Todd Lincoln's side. So it's his 6th great cousin, he says. I'd like to do a little more research on that. But how cool would that be? Oh, Barton and Davy. They're two of the big names from Middletown. They came over from Germany, Barton did. Had nothing to start with. He became a United States citizen. I had that paperwork from my mother. I don't know how she got all of this, but there was a chest with his naturalization papers, letters from his brother that helped survey Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, weird, huh? Personal letters, grocery store receipts, odd things. And unfortunately, they were in the library when the library burned. I hear they were taken out of the little tote that they were in and spread out to dry. And that's all I've heard of it. I'm hoping I can find them there because they are really nice old papers. I'm going to donate them to Springfield. Unless you guys want them here. You want Middletown paper? Well, you're Logan County.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Naturalization papers. Yeah, that'd be good. I'd rather you have it. When I find them, you get it. But it was interesting to see all those papers. And they're buried out at Irish Grove Cemetery. If you ever go for a walk out there, you'll find the Davy and Barton names. Okay, I think that's all I have. Just weird stuff from Middletown. Oh, let me tell you about what's up here. My grandma and grandpa lived in Middletown, a street over from where I live now, in a big old house that I don't remember anything except when I was little, we were there visiting, and my sister shoved me in a drawer for hide and seek. It's the only thing I remember about that house, and it's been torn down. I guess I was traumatized because they built the new house on Grove in 1963. In 1962, they bought 2 lots, $100 per lot. And with Mom being a hoarder, all of this information is every penny that they spent on everything. How much they spent on the lot, how much they spent on the house. It was like $9,300 or something like that. When they paid it off, there's the blueprints for the house that are kind of in sad shape. Bank statements. Just all sorts of information if you like looking at old stuff. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. When I'm dead, the kids will just throw everything away. They're not sentimental. I'm sentimental.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep stuff and throw out stuff. When I was born, I was the 4th. This is what St. Clair's gave Mom and Dad. Black and white, kind of generic. My brother was the 2nd, and he got this big fancy one from St. Clair's. Isn't that beautiful? Look at what they did for him. And my sister had one like this, my oldest sister. She has hers now. That's gorgeous. They don't do things like that anymore, and they didn't in 1960 either. I feel kind of left out. My grandpa was Alfonso Elligood. Alfonso and Lila Elligood. She made angel food cakes that were the lightest and best. She died in July 1960. I was born in December 1960. But this is a 1910 to a 1920 Oakland vehicle that he's driving. Middletown was known for its parades. They had parades around that square, the park square, all the time. And when I was a kid, I was in every parade. Not so much anymore, but with our bicentennial coming up, I'm gonna talk them into doing parades and parties and maybe a big carnival. I'm gonna try.
Wasn't it in Middletown where the plane landed?
The Vin Fizz, yes.
Yep.
There is a big commemorative rock just on the outskirts of town, like on the way out to the the grade school and junior high. There on the left-hand side, commemorating that. And I told my granddaughter that too. She said, an airplane in Middletown?
Yeah, that
Why?
was quite a big deal in the
Yes,
time.
it was. We had a few things that were big deals.
Yes.
It's an exciting town. Well, it was an exciting town, and it is again.
Yeah, it was a big deal for me when I was a little girl.
Did you go?
When I was a little girl, my neighbor delivered milk. And I went with her some mornings and when I didn't have to go to school. And we delivered bottled milk in Middletown.
Nice.
I remember that because I just happened to see those bottles up on top.
Do you remember the Glen House?
No.
Okay, that's one of the fanciest houses in Middletown and one of the first. They had a giant concrete fountain out there in front. The post office is here, and then there's that empty lot, and then there's the Glen House. Beautiful big house. They had a ballroom upstairs. It's in bad disrepair now.
Would that be the house that goes, say you're going towards Lincoln through the country from the post office, or is it going the other direction?
If you would go out toward the school, it's on the right-hand side of
Is it
there.
sort of a bluish gray house now or something like that?
Is it or is it white?
I don't know.
I don't
I haven't
know.
been to Middletown for a long time.
And I just left the post office on my way up here.
Yeah, it's about the only house down there before you get to the school.
What's the big house when you go to the south end of town? And there's the big 2.5-story house that sits up on
That has the copper roof now.
there. Yes.
Okay, that is Jerry, my sister was married to him. Jerry Boyer owns that.
So, what kind of person lived there? Was that a landowner or a?
No, it was a brother and sister pair. Neither one of them ever married, and they collect and sold antiques. And they had a huge sale and sold everything. Eastlake was one of their favorites. Sold everything, and Mom didn't get anything from there. I'm surprised, but yeah, she didn't get anything from there. But it stood empty for a long time, and he is fixing it up now.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that has those giant statues in his yard.
Mm-hmm.
The bucking bronco, I think, is one, and a stag is the
Like
other.
around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be a millwright or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gorgeous house. There was a doctor's house, the street behind me and over a block, and now you can see all the way through because the roof is caved in and it's decay. And
Where was the coal mine at?
outside of town, about 1.5 miles, and oddly enough, we now have sinkholes appearing in Middletown. So
Was
if
it
you
by the
don't,
railroad track?
yeah, past it.
Did you say seagulls?
Sinkholes.
Oh, I thought you said. I was gonna say.
Yeah, mine subsidence. You have to have that on your insurance or they're not gonna get anything. So half a block in front of me and in the alley, there was a big sinkhole, almost big enough to drop a car down into it. And this was middle of June, beginning of June. And then behind me, at Vicky Poole's house, behind me, and over half a block, she has a big sinkhole in her front ditch. So I'm surrounded. Yeah, we have mine substance.
Yes, you do.
Cool mining.
Have you got any more information on the racetracks that used to be there?
Not a whole lot. There is more in the book. They had the
Right.
races twice a year, and it lasted, I think it was 2 weeks. And oh gosh, people from all over the state came
Yeah,
in.
I've got one of the books, and that's why I was wondering if you had any additional information, because if I'm not mistaken, there was an oval track and a round track. Is that right?
I don't know that.
I think it's in the book, but so they had 2 or 3, and they were all different. but people came from states away.
It was a big deal.
And it was just an explosion of people. And
How
they
many-
would stay for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep,
And then you think, where'd they put all those people?
people camped also.
So how many years back would that have been?
Do you remember what year it was?
No.
Long, long
It
ago.
was a long.
It's in the
time
book.
ago.
Back in the old days.
Yeah.
Do you wanna flip through and find it? It's toward the back of the book.
Buy a book. I bought one of those 3 years ago, and it's worth more than the $5 I paid
I was gonna
for it
say,
because
we don't have one, do we? We don't have
I don't remember seeing that
Do you have
one.
one for here?
No, we don't have any from here.
Okay, well, here's one for here.
Thank
Is
you.
that the same as what used to be red?
No. This was made for the 175th anniversary.
Okay. I just remember the one I bought was red. Similar, looks similar to that.
We've only had blue. I thought it was purple, but apparently my vision is not as good as I thought it was. And it's blue. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
So are you saying it was a coal mining town, that's what started Middletown?
Well, it was after it was started that it became a coal mining town. It was a lot of farmers and landowners, and they just kept buying more and more. The general store there, and we had a lot of stores too. In the 40s, 50s, 60s, there were brick buildings up everywhere. And I remember a laundromat in the 1960s and a candy store where I could buy 2 pieces of bubble gum that looked like a hot dog for a penny. And I had to be really good to get that penny. I tried, as the youngest, I tried. Laundromat, we had a restaurant. One of the buildings, and I can't remember the name of it right now, had a ballroom on the top floor. And later on, when the ballroom dancing kind of went out of fashion, it was a roller skating rink, and it was something else up there too. Bowling, I think.
Was that?
Opera House too.
Up, yes.
Yes. Was that on the corner that used to be called the Glen House?
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, a lot of those brick buildings are torn down now. The grocery store is going to be used now. The guy's fixing it up. The prison that was behind the jail that was behind the grocery store, they tore down and donated the window, the iron bars, to the library. But when they went in and cleaned out after the fire, they threw away the iron bar window. Yeah, heartbreaking, a piece of history right there. And I remember that little jail being back there.
The big brick building across,
It's
it's not there
interesting
now,
to read.
that was across from the post office.
That one was the Maid-Rite for a while there too.
It was a big long building right on the corner.
Yep.
That became a bar, I know.
Is that lady
But
speaking?
in my wildest dreams, I always thought if I won a lotto,
Okay.
I was gonna buy that building and make it a historical building. You know, have antiques and stuff in it. That was my dream, and then they tore it down. I didn't win the lotto either, so.
Well, there's one building left, and you can actually see through it in parts of it. And the wooden floor is also see-through. Wildcats live in there. The firemen can't go in there if it catches on fire because it's not safe. Biggs. Do you guys remember Biggs, the farm store? Where you could go in and get a soda pop for a nickel, and it was the machine that you would hold on to the neck of that soda pop and walk it up this way and walk it up this way and walk it up this way before you'd finally get it out. You worked for that nickel. Thirsty by the time you got it out. The floors were beautiful old wood and dirty. Filthy dirty because it was a feed store. But I love that smell, the smell of history in there. Amazing store, and now that's being used again, and they're rebuilding that. Yeah, Birdman, the guy, another thing, the guy that was picked up by the giant bird, y'all remember that? Yeah, he lives in Middletown. And he owns that building now.
That didn't happen in Middletown, though.
No, but he's in Middletown now.
Yeah,
And the name of his building is Birdman's Building.
Yeah, they actually had a documentary on television about that.
Yeah.
I can kind of believe it Because we have eagles that are really big,
Yes.
and I'm thinking he was a little kid, and maybe.
Yeah, it was
I'll try to get
National
him.
Geographic, thing, a documentary on TV. I saw it.
And he'll still say that it happened, and that's why his place is called Birdman's.
Yeah, I believe it.
And he climbs up on ladders and does roofs and gutters now, so he's not afraid of
Get
heights.
I kind of remember that too.
Oh, it was pretty cool. I was a kid.
Wasn't there a kind of a famous bank robbery or something too? Didn't they set fire to a barn out in the country and everybody was out there and they robbed the bank?
Oh, gosh. I kind of remember that, but not really.
I think I read that in your book.
And Mom probably told me 10 times.
You'll have to Google that.
I don't computer anymore though, and I don't Google either.
It's
Yeah.
on my phone,
John,
voice activated.
I like dictionaries and encyclopedias and thesauruses. But Middletown Bank was robbed, what, 20 years ago, 15 years ago? And now they lock the door at the bank. So if you want to go inside the bank, you have to knock and let them see your face, and then they'll open the little button and you can go on in then.
Did
Well,
they
you can't
catch 'em?
trust anything.
I don't know. That's before I came back after my 40 years. But Alicia Sparks works there, the triplets, Alicia Sparks. Yeah, I can ask her.
So is the okay, when you're coming into town, come around on the northwest corner of the park,
Okay,
towards your historical society.
okay.
Catty cornered from your building is that other brick building.
The one that's painted white used to be the grocery store. And they're saving it, they're rebuilding it now.
Okay, so that's where the grocery store is going
Yeah.
in? Okay.
But it's not gonna be a grocery store, it's gonna be a storage facility.
Oh.
Good thing Mom's not around because,
I was gonna say.
I can
For
laugh
your mom.
because she would laugh too. She's a great mom, she was a great mom. As a matter of fact, this is her school book from 1952. If y'all wanna look at that and see if there's any faces that you recognize, it might be nice.
51.
That's a treasure. I don't know what the kids will do with it when I'm gone. But it's
Bring
a
it in
treasure.
here.
You'd want this here?
Yeah.
I graduated in 51, and that's 52, did you say?
Yeah. She's Doris
We
Ketchum.
could take it. We
Who?
could take it.
Doris Ketchum. You know my mom?
It was your mom?
Yeah. You know
She
my
knows.
mom.
What?
You knew my mom.
That's a long time ago.
Did you know her or not?
I did, I remember her. Did-
Doris and Lynette and Donnie and Susie.
Did they go to church here in Lincoln? Kitchens, I know.
Mom lived in Lincoln. Grandma and Grandpa were Catholic. Grandma was Catholic. Grandpa wasn't.
All right, did she have a driver's license or some kind of business?
No, that was my Aunt Joanna Ketchum.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'd like to see that though.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? You might as well have it. Go ahead
Yeah,
and
we'll
keep
take
it
it.
here.
Oh, yes.
Because the kids, I have
My
two
mug is
kids.
probably in there.
My son's 3 hours away, my daughter's an hour away. What are they gonna do with it?
Oh my gosh, Joyce.
Yeah.
Ainsley.
They can come here and look at ours.
I've had like 14 boxes
Oh my God, that Joanne.
this size of junk jewelry. But I've also found she had 6 wedding rings sets, and I found some of her wedding ring sets in a couple of the boxes.
Oh my gosh.
So it's
You save
heartbreaking.
everything.
And I get overwhelmed and I cry, and then I know I've got to get through it because, I'm paying $88 a month for that storage facility in Clinton and half of the other one, so I've got to get them out of there. But it's so hard. And the things like what she paid for everything.
Oh, I know him.
Who else does that? But it's
I
so
know him.
interesting
I know
also.
him.
And 100 years from now, is anyone going to care? people like us.
There will be people
It'll be
that
on the
will
moon.
care.
I hope so. I hope
Yes,
so. I do.
There will always
Went to
be
school with those ones.
Well, see, they're from Lincoln.
Good.
collectors, hoarders, and stories.
Well, I still have 2 hope chests full
There's
of
my
stuff
cousin.
that I can't get rid of.
Of.
My dad's
And I knew
uniform.
her.
Okay, help yourselves to look around. The papers can stay here if you guys want them. If you don't, I
Can I-
understand too.
Tell us a story about Middletown.
Oh, please do so.
I have really fond memories of Middletown because my first job was as an assistant on a survey party. And so we did a lot of work in Middletown, actually, land surveying.
Like
But
Abraham Lincoln.
just,
There you go.
I wasn't, the guy I worked with was. But, so we're over there one day and working downtown, and there's the bank. And I happen to know the president of the bank because he was a pilot here in Lincoln and owned an airplane. And up until that point, and this is age 20-something, nobody in the world would ever give me a credit card. I applied and applied and applied, and nobody would give me a credit card. I'd had a job for a year, you know, and so I thought, well, I know the guy in the bank. So I went in and I said, hey, I forget his name now, but I said, I can't get a credit card anywhere. And he said, oh, I'll take care of that. So my first credit card, my very first credit card was from the Middletown Bank. And,
Middletown Farmers Bank. We were called the Farmers Bank.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know the guy's name who was the?
I did, but I can't think of it right now.
Okay. So anyway, he got me a credit card. He signed for me, and then a few weeks later, I get a letter in the mail, and there's the credit card, my first credit card, and the amount that they trusted me with was $500.
Oh, nice.
That went farther back then, too.
Well, I had that amount for years and years, and then I tried to apply to Marine Bank in Springfield because they bought that bank, I think. Or anyway, they wouldn't increase my money. But I have fond memories of Middletown.
I miss being able to walk into the bank and say, I need $500, and they'd say, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the way the bank was.
Little bank. I know my dad was farming. He needed money for seed or something. Send mom to town. She'd go in, tell them they need so much money, and sign my dad's name, and they get the money. Think they do that today?
No.
Oh, no. Y'all know Winifred Golden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winifred, yeah.
Yeah. Her house sold for $11,000, and it's on like four lots. $11,000, and it was full of antiques.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
Everything was
I'm sure.
left exactly where it was. Dishes were in the strainer, dishes were on the table. The old wooden telephone box that you would crank was still on the wall.
Wow.
The guy that bought it took everything out and burned it.
Oh.
The furniture, the papers.
Oh.
He did save some pencils and a glass. He saved some pencils and a glass and donated it to the library. But oh my gosh, it broke my heart. Well, they
That's
had
why-
not turned off the water and a pipe had burst, but still,
Oh.
oh my goodness.
That's why they should bring back public livings. Public living.
God, who would do that?
Oh, he wanted it out so he could get busy remodeling. He buys a lot of buildings in Middletown to fix up.
So what's your gavel from?
Oh, Royal Neighbors of America. Do y'all know Royal Neighbors?
Oh, my mom was a member.
Yeah. That was a real big thing in Middletown. When I was a little girl, we would go to the meetings, and there'd be 30, 40 women sitting around. All of them wore dresses or house dresses. Some of them had on their aprons, and they would be so serious about their meeting. My mom was the oracle for Middletown one year in 1968. She was the oracle, and I remember her. And the meeting would start and the meeting would end, and if I acted up, I got one of those too. So that's something that'll stay with me forever. The kids, I don't know, but it means the world to me.
Maybe if you start hitting them with.
Remember this. I still have their insurance. Mom started all of us with insurance when we were like 2-3 years old, and it's like $1,200 is what it's worth now. Yeah, I'm 65. But I'll pay my $15.28 a year to keep that insurance because it's Royal Neighbors. It was started by 9 women in, what was it, 1845? 9 women started that.
Was it a social or was it a philanthropic organization?
They started out socially, and women's rights came along and suffrage, and they worked hard for suffrage, and they were very proud of it too. And as they got bigger and bigger, they went more toward insurances, and now they help with projects. Like my project that I want to do next is a food pantry for Middletown. Unfortunately, no one will let me set it up at the church or at the park or at the bank or at the bar. So I'm going to put it in my front yard. On the outside of the fence, and Royal Neighbors, I need to apply, but they have a $500 scholarship for that. Oh, and again, I got sidetracked. I'm so sorry.
It's very interesting.
Thank you.
It's the sidetracks that make it interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I could tell you a million stories. And y'all need to come over and go through the storage facilities with me. Because I don't know, it is 717.
You're okay.